Hey guys, and welcome to Day to Day Scott, where I bring you daily content on entrepreneurship and personal growth, except for Sunday because you've got to give some time to your family. That's the first tip of the day. So, who am I and what do I do and what do I offer and what do I show and what do I say? That's a bit of a tongue twister. So I'm an entrepreneur, and as an entrepreneur yourself, or someone who's just hungry for growth, you know you're always learning every day from influencers, from reading blogs, and so much other things. So what I do is I communicate my learnings from each day into videos. That does a few things. It reconfirms my knowledge, it allows you to learn from my failures, and it allows us to discuss any issues. I'm very transparent and very fluid with what I say. So I will, if I have an issue or if I'm struggling with something, I'll communicate on the channel as well, and then we can engage as a community and we can help each other. So that's what it is. It's about being an entrepreneur and that I'm on my journey. I'm not necessarily at the heights of Gary Vee, Peter Voog, Tony Robbins, who are great influencers, but I'm more in the trenches, in the grind, as they say. So this is what's so raw about this channel, is we're in the grind. That's where I believe most of we're in the grind, and we're pushing, we're trying, and we look up to people, and I just want to be sort of the voice for the small man, almost the voice for the people in the trenches, to help people and for people to resonate with each other and understand the same issues we're going through. And I'm here to help you. So honestly, comment any feedback, comment any questions or anything, because I really want to engage with you online. So welcome to the video. This is my digital marketing one, as I have a digital marketing one every Tuesday. It's a really interesting one, and especially if you're starting out with digital marketing and social media, this is a really useful one for you. So this is, what are the best social media tools and software to use? What are the best social media tools and software to use, which is great if you're starting out. So I'll see you in a minute and we'll discuss. Hey guys, and welcome back. Right, so let's get on to the video, shall we? So what are the best social media tools and software to use? There's so many apps, and you probably know of a few already. There's so many out there, so it can be very confusing. So I'm going to make this video as short and concise as I can to just give you the killer software tools that I've used. And I've used many, but I've only stuck with the ones that truly work. So the ones that I tell you, like, I've tried and tested, I will tell you some other ones that I'm testing at the moment, but I won't tell you to honestly go try to go use one unless I've honestly tried it for myself and do it for myself. I won't say. So let's get on to the video. I don't want to ramble too much. I'm always rambling, and it's some feedback I got is just be more short and concise, so I'll try my best. So the first one is one you've already heard of, and that is Hootsuite. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's probably the most well-known one. The great aspect of this is it's free for 3 platforms, so you can put 3 social platforms on this. It's a social media scheduling software, so you can put 3 platforms on it, but it can't be the same platform, so you can't have 2 Instagram accounts or 2 Facebook accounts. It would have to be separate social media. So for instance, you could have Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And it's still free. Just be aware, if you do use the free version, you can only schedule a maximum of 30 posts now. That was something they brought in recently. I got an email about 3 weeks ago, so I think that's action now. So just be aware of that. Sometimes I know I sometimes schedule like 100 at a time. So obviously I have the paid version, but just be aware, if you do have the free version, you can only schedule 30 at a time right now. So it's great for scheduling. That is its main purpose, but it also has some other cool tools. I would say the other really cool tool is its monitoring side. So it can monitor keywords on social media. Like, you can have like social media streams, and you can monitor keywords, which is really good. If, for instance, I help a beauty brand, so it allows me to stay in sync with topics that may be relatable to our brand, and then it allows me to make sure I then engage in those topics. And then, because at the end of the day, guys, you don't want to just set up an account that just post and just shouts at people. You want to engage. It is a social platform. You want to engage with the trends, and especially the things that make most sense to your industry and your product or service, because then it shows and positions you as the expert. So the keyword tracking is really good on this, and it can track your mentions. So if anyone mentions you, it can track hashtags, so you can put certain hashtags you can track. So maybe if someone hashtagged you always stay in sync, and you can retweet people. So it helps with the engagement side on social media as well, and it lays it out really nicely on Hootsuite. It's a really good beginners app, Hootsuite, and I'd really recommend it. It also has this. I've not used this part of it much, but it also has an analytics. Personally, I use Google Analytics, but I looked at it today just to see if there's any things I missed that I haven't used on it, and it actually looks pretty good. So I will dive into that a bit more, but I can't really comment much on it because I personally don't use its analytics. I usually use the analytics in the social media platforms and Google Analytics, but it does have that aspect as well, which is awesome. So the only downside is sort of two things, and one which you can't change, and this is the same for all other scheduling platforms as well. As with Facebook, there's loads of different types of posts on Facebook, so you can do like carousel posts, you can make your own slideshow and stuff. Obviously Hootsuite doesn't have that integrated, so say I can't think of the top of my head, but say Facebook has like 10 different types of posts, Hootsuite can only do like 3 of them. Now this isn't a big issue because a lot of the time you won't use all of those types of posts, and it's not hard to just go into Facebook and use, say you want to use a carousel, you can go into Facebook and then use the carousel post or use the creating slideshow post. That's no problem. Hootsuite, I would still highly recommend Hootsuite Facebook, and if you don't, you can always use Facebook's scheduling, as Facebook and Twitter both have scheduling tools in their platforms already. I just find Hootsuite is a lot easier because it's all in one place, and I think once you have over like 3 platforms, you really want it in one place. If you're scheduling a lot as well, if you're posting every day, it cuts so much time out of just diving into each social platform, checking the timings, checking against the other platforms. If it's just one in one area, it's just so much easier. And when you start growing your social presence, you'll start to realize that very quickly. Another issue, which again you can't change this, but I have a tool that will overcome it, so don't worry, I'll let you know about it. That's Instagram. So with Instagram, due to sort of how it's designed, there's no platform except for the one I'm going to tell you in a bit. There's no platform that can actually post straight onto Instagram. So what Hootsuite does is it sends you a notification. So you'd set up the post, and then when that post happens, it would send you a notification, and then it would then you would obviously go through the process of actually posting. So Hootsuite won't actually post it, you would have to post it, which is, again, that's the same issue of all platforms when it comes to Instagram, because Instagram they just don't let you promote straight onto their platform. But like I said, I've got a tool that you can get around that. So that's Hootsuite. That is, if you're a beginner, I strongly advise you start there, and it's awesome. It's free for 3 platforms. Like that's brilliant. And even the paid version, it's like, I can't think how much I pay for it. It's less than 20 quid, so it's peanuts, you know what I mean? And you get 10 accounts then, and you can have like 2 or 3 Instagrams, 5 Facebook. I think I have like 8 accounts on that, so it is a really good beginners. And even if you don't have much cash coming in, like, it's not, I mean, 20 quid is not, you're not going to die on that, are you? So it's a good one to start on. Another one that I started using recently, I probably use this for a month now. I've always heard of it. I've heard about it for ages, but I've always been quite neglectful because of my understanding of it. But now I've actually started using it. Now I love it. And it's a bit more expensive though, but like, I've paid it and I love it. And that's Edgar. So on Edgar, it's an interesting platform, Edgar. This is why I was a bit iffy on it. But on Edgar, you can create categories on it, and in those categories, so I separate the categories into brands, and then let's say one of the brands is Instant Effects, and then I have one of my categories is i.e. quotes. So motivational quotes, I do that every Monday. Then I've got tips and tricks, I do that every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I can build up that category with loads of content, so like loads of tips and tricks and posts, and then I can set that category on my calendar, on the Edgar calendar. I can set the time, and I can set when I want to post it and which category I would want it to post. And then what it does is it'll choose a random post out of that category. So I could say I want tips and tricks, something going out from tips and tricks category going out on Friday at 3 o'clock, and it'll choose one randomly and it'll put it out 3 o'clock. It's really quite cool because you can just build a bank full of content in each category, and then it'll choose it randomly, and it makes sure you're offering different content, and it stays more interesting and engaging rather than you just reposting content that's already been posted in the past few days. So it's really good for repurposing content, and be aware of that, guys. It's fine to repurpose content. That's not an issue. You don't want to repurpose it too quickly. Like if you post it last week, obviously you're not going to want to post it the week after, but you can repurpose content, so don't be scared to do that. I do that with quotes and motivational stuff and my blogs and so forth. So this is a really key one that I've actually moved quite a lot from Hootsuite to Edgar now, and it's really helped me. It really helps with the content and promoting on all the brands that I do. And full transparency, I use it for my blog. So every time I finish a video, I make 2 posts on the blog, and I'll put that on my Edgar, and I'll put that in, and then it'll post it randomly on my set times, and I have 3 set times each day for a blog. So it's really good for just posting random content, and it really helps with just making sure if you forget, it makes sure it's there. So it's an interesting one, and one, if maybe you're a little bit more advanced, I would strongly advise to move on to that. But like I said, it is a little bit more expensive. I think it's like just under £50 a month, so it is a little bit more dear. So maybe don't go into that until you have a few more clients and you feel more confident you can pay that. Now onto the little secret gem. This is a gem, like this is such a good gem that I found, and it's called Grum. This is what will get through the Instagram issue. So everyone's always moaning that they can't post straight to Instagram. Grum, Grum, use it. It works, and it won't get you banned. I was scared about that because I couldn't find anything else, and the whole sort of issue of Instagram not allowing other scheduling platforms to automatically schedule onto their platform. I thought it would just get me banned. I've used it for I think 1.5 years now. Never had an issue. I started it when it was free. It's now a paid version, but I started when it was free. That is how early on I got it. So it's a really cool little one, and I really recommend it. If you do a lot on Instagram, I recommend it. It's just a scheduling platform for Instagram. It's really nicely laid out. And again, I can't remember how much it's paid now, but it's not much over a tenner. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, again, it's peanuts, so it'd be good fun. So I'd recommend that for Instagram. Another one, this is a bit more different. So those past 3 platforms I've just given you, that's all scheduling. So as a marketer, you'll know, or someone who's thinking of marketing, scheduling is going to become a big part of you promoting online, because at the end of the day, social media can be very time consuming, and a brilliant way to cut down the time is scheduling content. It's one of the best ways, if not the best way, to cut down time, is just scheduling masses of content. So that's where the scheduling platforms come on, which I've just gone through, those 3: Hootsuite, Grum, and Edgar. So now I'm going to go into some more interesting tools in regards to helping your growth on social media. So I use a tool called Mass Follower. This is only used on Twitter. It's called Mass Follower. So I'll give you the growth hacking tip first. This is a little bonus in this video. So if you're wanting to growth hack this really works on Twitter really well, and it works reasonably well on Instagram and Facebook. Facebook's a little difficult to do, but on Instagram it works quite well. Twitter, it works really well. Basically what it is, it's you follow, so you know what you do, you know what your brand does. What you go ahead and do, the Twitter limit of following is 1,000 a day, okay? You go and follow 1,000 people that is similar to your business. So say your business is, I'll do beauty because it's easier, it's more close to heart. So I run a beauty brand. So a good thing for me to do is go to a beauty blogger's Twitter account and basically follow 1,000 of their followers, because I know they're all very interested in beauty and they want to blog about and they want to talk about it. They want to find little indie brands. So when I go and I follow 1,000 of their followers, what the metrics say on average is every 1,000 you follow, you'll get 100 back. Now this can differ. That's the averages. Sometimes I've done it, I've had 300 back. Sometimes I've done it, I've had 5 people back. It's different, but on average you'll get 100 people back. And those numbers can sound quite tough, but seriously, it really is good. You have to be quite efficient with it. So my advice with it is follow what I usually do, I do this for all my Twitter accounts, is follow 3,000, find an account that is similar to yours, like I just explained, and each day for 3 days follow 1,000 people on that account. So the people following that account, follow 1,000 of them, and you use this mass follow. All you do is you download this mass follower app and you press follow, and basically it automatically appears when you go on a Twitter account, and it'll just follow automatically, so you don't have to click. You just do one click, and there's even some settings in there where you can sort of prioritize people who have verified accounts, and sort of you can ignore and blacklist people. There's a bit of settings to it, which is really helpful. But you can mass follow accounts really efficiently, and you can just walk away, make a cup of tea, and it'll just do it. What I would say though is don't follow the 1,000 straight up. You're just asking for Twitter to pull you up on it. I would say, providing you've got a Twitter account that's been around for a while, I'd say do 250 to 500 at a time. Don't do any more than that. Even if you're a really verified account, just don't mess around with it. And if you've just started up Twitter, I wouldn't do this for at least a month. Just because Twitter needs to see that you're a real person, that you're posting regularly. If you just straight up just start aggressively following, you're just going to be on their systems like that. You're just going to flag up within seconds, and they're going to know you're messing around with their system, because there's not in the rules to not do it, but Twitter don't want you doing it. So if they can see that you're being quite aggressive, you're following, they're gonna ban you. And full transparency, I've been banned before. I've never been fully blocked off Twitter, but I've had like 24-hour bans. So I've tested and tried. Like I said, everything I'm telling you here, I've tested and tried, and they do it. I've been pulled up on it a few times, but I've managed to understand the metrics now. Now I don't, because now I do it in sort of sharp stumps, sort of smaller stumps. So like I said, follow 1,000 each day for 3 days, wait for a few days for people to sort of see your following, follow you back, and then go back to that account and then unfollow those 3,000 people. That is a great tactic to mass follow on Twitter, and that's what that mass follow app can be used. Also, if you're unfollowing, you could maybe say in the settings, don't unfollow the people that followed you, just so you got that sort of follow back aspect to it. Or you can just unfollow everyone. If you do unfollow everyone, then sort of like 10% of the people that followed you back might unfollow you again. But at the end of the day, you still made sort of 70 to 80 people followers. And the good thing about it is they're targeted to you. It's not rubbish fake followers. It's good because you know they're genuinely interested in what you do, because you've targeted it to an account that makes sense with your industry and has some sort of relation to what you do. So it's targeted followers, which is going to increase your engagement on Twitter as well. So sorry for rambling on there. It's just I want to properly explain why you would use that, rather than just giving you the tool. And that's a really, really good growth hacking tip for especially Twitter. It can be used on Instagram. It's pretty difficult with Instagram and Facebook, especially Instagram. Like, they're always pulling you up. You can't really mass follow Instagram. You can and you can't. It's quite difficult though, because their systems are quite hard on it. They pick up on it pretty damn quickly. But Twitter systems, they're quite weak. Like, they just never pick up on it. So that's a really good growth hacking tip, and to use mass follower. Another one based on Twitter, another tool is called Twitter Audit. Now, this is a bit of a funny one, but the reason I use this, what this does is it analyzes a Twitter account, and it analyzes the ratio of real to fake followers. Now, where this might be useful, where I found it, is if I were looking up people or sort of understanding their credibility, if they were approaching me and especially if they're in the digital marketing space, and they were sort of offering me advice or offering me help on social media, I would usually use this audit. It's literally just type in Twitter audit in Google, and I would audit their account, and basically it gives you a ratio of fake to real followers. And I just think it was sort of nice because so many people just buy followers. Like, it's such a common thing. I'm going to tell you now, do not buy followers. I'll do a video on it, sort of to explain why you shouldn't, but just don't. But I'll explain further in another video sort of why you shouldn't and sort of the do's and don'ts with that. But so many people do it, and if I was to find someone was approaching me who's in the digital marketing space and I found like 90% of their followers are fake, I just wouldn't listen to them. So it's sort of good to sort of look into brands that you might be interested in and see if they're bullshitting you. It's a good one. Another really good one, again, this is Twitter focused. This is called, it's hard to say, it's Tweriod. I'm going to spell it out so you can go look at it. It's Tweriod. Tweriod. I'm not even going to try. Tweriod or something. This is a really good one. What this does is it analyzes. You put in your Twitter account, and like 8 hours later, about a few hours, probably not 8 hours, like a few hours later, you'll get an email. And what it does is it analyzes all your followers, and it analyzes the times that they're on social media. So it'll actually give you the best times for each day to be posting. It'll give you the activity of when most of your followers are online through each day of the week. So then that allows you to gauge a better timing for your post to make sure it reaches most of your audience. So that's a really, really useful one for, again, engaging your audience and building a following. Another one I use is called Statusbrew. This can be used for a bunch of things, but the thing I only use it for auto DMs. So on Twitter, I know you've probably got this off many Twitter accounts, is you get an auto direct message, and that's usually offering like a free ebook or something, or trying to sell you something. Mine doesn't do that. Because I genuinely want to engage and speak with people, and I know that I'm not going to see all my followers because they'll come in quite quick sometimes. So I just got an auto DM where it's sort of just saying, hey, thank you for following. If I can help you in any way, I basically say what my expertise. I don't sell myself. I just say these are my expertise. If I can give you any tips, advice, or anything, please feel free to DM me. I'll happily help you. I'm not trying to sell anything. I guess I sell my services a little bit, but I'm not trying to gain any sort of sale out of it. I'm just literally saying if you want some help, because that's what I believe in, sort of to grow my followings. I want to engage with the community to just help them free of charge without expecting anything in return. So that's what I use Statusbrew for, is for auto DMs. I'm going to be using it for auto tweets soon as well. I haven't done the video for it. I think it can be used for scheduling as well, but I can't comment on that, as personally I haven't used it, but it looks like a pretty good platform, so it might be worth a check out as well. So they're all the software and tools I do personally use, and ones I would really strongly advise to sort of go and test and see what works for you. Two that I'm testing at the moment, and please do comment below and let me know if you have any comments on these, because I'm honestly trying to understand whether they're good. One is Gramista, and that's for Instagram. What that does, again, I'm testing, so I can't really comment much on it, but I can tell you what it does. It's my growth hacking tip that I just mentioned in the past tool. It basically does that for Instagram. So you can focus it to a hashtag, or you can focus it to a certain account, or you can focus it to a keyword, and then it'll follow all those people who are hashtagging that word or saying that keyword or that account, and it'll follow them reasonably aggressively. You can sort of set how aggressive you want it. I would sort of put it at normal speed, because again, you don't want to get blocked. And again, that's sort of, it does the same it's the same principle that I explained: follow 1,000, get 100 back. That's what it is with Twitter. I don't know if Instagram is that same metrics, because I haven't done it on Instagram as much. So again, I'm testing it. So if you've got any comments on Gramista, please do let me know, because I'm currently testing it out. And another one which is less to do with growing following and scheduling is Buzzsumo. So this is more for sort of content creation and for blogs, again, which is a big thing as marketers. We're always wanting to create content. And what Buzzsumo is it, again, I'm testing it, I'm sort of having a bit of fun with it, is it gives you sort of the stuff that's trending now. So you can type in a topic, beauty, and it'll give you sort of all the trending stuff. And what's quite cool about it is it'll show you sort of how many shares it has on each social platform. So it'd be like 7.2k Twitter tweets on it, and 5,000 shares on Facebook. So it's quite cool to see. It gives you a bit of knowledge on where it's mostly been talked about, which is quite cool. So that might sort of make you understand where you should be promoting that content to, as well as understanding what's trending. So it's really quite cool. I like that one. It's been recommended a lot. So that's one sort of I'm testing with to help me with content creation and understanding what's good to what to blog about. Another good one I would just want to highlight, again, this is more to do with the content creation side of things, is there's quite a few of these. The one that I use is called Sharethough Headline Analyzer. If you just put that in, there's quite a few headline analyzers, but it's quite cool because if you're writing blogs or anything, what you can do is it analyzes your headline. So you can type in your headline in this and you press enter, and it'll give you sort of stats on it'll give you stats out of 100, and it'll sort of give you where you should improve. So it says the emotional aspect of the headline, it'll tell you the grammar and sort of different aspects of how you can improve it that you probably wouldn't have thought of, and it's really good. So it's really good to help you write really killer headlines. And like with YouTube, a huge part of me getting clicks onto my videos is 100% the title and the cover photo. Therefore, why my cover photos have improved massively and why my titles have improved massively, because you need to grip them and you need to get them in, and then obviously you've got to back it up with the actual video. So hopefully I do. So that's a really good one for headline analyzers, which is good for both blogs and for just posts in general on social media, because again, you've got to grab their attention. You've got like something like 3 seconds of people's attention, so if you don't grab it, it's just some boring headline, then it's just useless, and you've just wasted maybe some great content people just ain't engaging in because you fail to engage them through the title. Another one, which I'm not going to go into because there's so much I could talk about this. I'll probably just put a whole video to this. Is Google Analytics. Even if you're starting out, you should 100% use this. But I am aware it's confusing. But even if you're starting out, you should 100% be using this, because it's really, really good, and it gives you so much information about your website, about social media. But granted, it is confusing, and even I get confused with it. But like, I strongly advise you just try and just learn online. And if you want any advice on it, you're more than welcome to just DM me or comment below and ask for some questions, and I'll help you where I can. There's also lots of sort of Google workshops they do. They're called Digital Garage. I strongly advise going on that. You can get actually a qualification on, if you type in the Digital Garage on Google, you can actually get a qualification with Google. It's free, and it gives you loads of learnings, and it'll help you with Google Analytics. So then maybe that's a bit of support as well. So that's all the tools. Another one I can think of the top of my head is Crowdfire. Personally, I don't use it, so again, I can't comment on it, but I know that's quite a well used one. I always get auto DMs with Crowdfire at the bottom of it, so I know that's quite a well used, and you might want to try that as well. So I hope you I went through a lot there. So I hope you sort of get a good understanding from that, and it's very I didn't want to just make it specific to one aspect of social media. I thought I'd give you a bunch of different tools and apps and software, because at the end of the day, social media has lots of hats. It's not just about creating the content. When you get more advanced, you want to know the best times to send it. You want to know how to engage your audience better, how to make sure you have more trending content. So there's a lot more. Every level you go up with social media marketing, it just gets better, more engaging, more interesting, and you learn more. So that's why I've given you a lot. It depends what level you're at. At the end of the day, like, you can 100% use all those tools tomorrow, and you would learn them. Like, you can. It's just like, I've just learned them. You can 100%. I guarantee you can learn them within a few days. It's just how comfortable and how much time you have to put towards it. But either way, my takeaway for this video, as I always do, a takeaway is just jump in, test and find what works for you. And Personally, I'd strongly advise that you start with Hootsuite. It's free. You can have 3 different platforms on there: Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We could have, which are the main platforms. So I would just jump in. Personally, I'd start with Hootsuite and just see what works for you. You might find that Hootsuite's not really for you. You prefer Edgar. You might want to try something else. Just see what works for you and how it works. But Hootsuite's a nice one because you don't have to commit any payment, so there's no risk there for you, and you sort of have a bit of fun with it. But again, just be aware you can only schedule up to 30 posts if it's the non-paid one with Hootsuite, as it's something they brought in recently. And another thing I want to say with the takeaway is, don't be scared to pay for these platforms. Like, you might feel that, oh no, I know as an entrepreneur, we always feel like we have to wear every hat in the business, and that we should find every way to cut corners and be cheap and be smart. It's just smarter to pay for this, because yes, you can think that you're cutting a small price of £20 or £50 if it's Edgar, because you're going to manage the scheduling on the platforms as Facebook and Instagram. You can actually just schedule off their platforms, but it is so painfully time consuming and frustrating to have to manage scheduling through each account. It'll just send you nuts, especially if it's past 3 platforms. You'll just lose your mind, because you're having to jump into that. And obviously you need to know what content's going on over social platforms, so then you know when to time the other platforms. So having platforms like Edgar and Hootsuite, it just gives you it all there. You'd be like, all right, Facebook, I'm doing that on Tuesday. Twitter, I'm doing this on Thursday. It's all in one place, so it makes it so much easier. So that's my other takeaway: is just jump in and don't be scared to pay for a platform. Don't be scared to pay for it, because it's not dead money, and at the end of the way, it's going to really save you time. At the end of the day, guys, time is money, money is time. So it's a really key one. So I hope you gain value from that, guys. I have a feeling I spoke a lot there. I felt like I had to, though. Like, I really wanted to I didn't want to just tell you a tool and then not explain what it was, because, like, what's the point in that if I just go bum, 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 bum. I wanted to give you sort of why I use it and sort of how I believe it can be helpful for you and sort of the best aspects of it, because then you can get the most value out of this, and you can understand. You can go into that platform not blind, not just be like, okay, what's this? You can actually see and get involved in the right things, aspects of it. So I hope you gain value from that, guys. I love doing these digital marketing ones because, I mean, that's what I do, so it's really good fun. Please let me know any feedback, any comments, questions, queries, anything at all. Please just comment them down below, or DM me, whatever you feel comfortable with. And if you have any questions about the actual tools and software I've gone through, or you need any help in maybe setting them up, or just sort of understanding them a bit more, as they can be a bit tricky at the start, again, please feel free to comment below, or just DM me, whatever you feel comfortable with, and I'll happily help you do that. So thank you very much for staying around. Thank you to all the beautiful people that watch this, and the new beautiful people that have come to the channel. Please do follow me on all social media: YouTube, where you are now, at Scott Mears; Twitter is at Scott Mears_, and Facebook is at Scott Mears Entrepreneur. Please do subscribe, put the notification so you can see every video. As I said, I do 6 videos a week except for Sunday. This has been Day-to-Day Scott. I always preach this quote: the best way to predict the future is to create it. It's the top I wear every single video, because I so truly believe in it. Let's make this future. You can make your own future by working towards what you want. So go out there, kill it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure. See you tomorrow. Bye.